Los Angeles at night is a special kind of magic. The city lights up and everyone is chasing something. For a musician like me, that something was usually a gig, a connection, or just a free drink. LA has this invisible wall, not bricks, but velvet ropes and guest lists. On one side, the crowd, packed together, singing along, living for the music. On the other, the VIP lounge, a world apart, slightly elevated, where the drinks are free and the deals are made. The VIP section is a physical barrier that whispers, "You're here, but the real party is over there." It creates this intense curiosity. What's so special behind that rope? You see people laughing, clinking glasses, but you're not part of it. In a city built on dreams, that feeling of missing out is powerful. I'd stand in the crowd at the Troubadour, looking up at that balcony, watching a silent movie of people who'd made it. Record execs, actors, the lead singer's cool friends, they all seemed so comfortable. The VIPs had space, their own bar, and a sense of belonging. The general crowd was the heart of the show, their energy feeding the band. But the VIP lounge? It felt more like a business meeting with a soundtrack. It was about being seen, networking, maintaining status. For someone like me, desperate to get into the industry, that lounge was the promised land. It was the place I needed to be, but had no idea how to get to. Or so I thought. My life in LA was a constant hustle. I was one of thousands of musicians with a guitar case full of songs and a heart full of hope. Days were dead-end jobs, nights were open mics and begging for gigs. In LA, talent isn't enough. Everyone's talented. The barista, a screenwriter, the pizza guy, a drummer. Being in the general crowd at a show was the perfect metaphor for my career. Anonymous, overlooked. The VIP section was a constant reminder of where I wasn't. Success, access, belonging. I'd watch people walk in and out, wondering what made them different. In the general section, people were messy, passionate, lost in the moment. The VIPs were controlled, careful, nodding to the music instead of living it. It was wild forest versus manicured garden. I was in the forest, dreaming of the garden. The frustration was real. I had something to offer, but couldn't get past the gatekeepers. The people who could change my life were just out of reach. That feeling of being so close yet so far finally pushed me. I realized if I waited for an invitation, I'd be waiting forever. I had to find another way in. My first time wasn't planned. It was pure, desperate inspiration. I was at a Hollywood showcase, guitar in hand. The main floor line was long, but the VIP entrance had one bored security guard. I watched people walk up, say a name, and stroll in. No tickets, no IDs, just confidence. That's when it hit me. Maybe the secret wasn't a name, but the way they walked. They moved with purpose, didn't hesitate, didn't ask permission. I took a deep breath, told myself, "You belong here," and made my guitar case visible. Pretending to read an urgent text, I walked right past the guard. No eye contact, just steady confidence. My heart pounded, but no one stopped me. Suddenly, I was inside the VIP lounge. No money, no fame, just a guitar case, and the audacity to act like I belonged. I went to the bar, ordered water, trying to act casual while my mind raced. It worked. The guard wasn't there to be a detective, just to stop people who looked out of place. By acting like I didn't need permission, I became invisible. I discovered a superpower, the power of assumption. He assumed I was supposed to be there because I acted like it. That moment changed everything. Confidence, I realized, was my all-access pass. I didn't need an invitation. I just needed to believe I belonged. After that first success, I became a student of the system. Crashing VIP lounges became my secret hobby. It wasn't about free drinks anymore. It was a game. I studied how the insiders behaved. Roadies, managers, label reps. It wasn't about expensive clothes. It was about a vibe. The first rule: always look busy. People who belong rarely look like they're just hanging out. They're working, on their phones, having intense conversations, moving with purpose. A tourist stands still and gawks. A pro strides through with focus. I learned to adopt the professional look, phone out, destination in mind, even if it was just the other side of the room. The dress code was effortlessly cool. Black t-shirt, good jeans, boots. You had to look like you'd been in 100 rooms like this. The goal blend into the background of cool. Most importantly, I mastered the art of the nod. Walk past someone official, give a slight, confident nod. It says, "I see you, you see me, we both belong here." Not a smile, just mutual respect. It short-circuits suspicion. I must know that guy from somewhere. The nod was my secret weapon. It worked almost every time. Once I had the basics down, I started experimenting with props. My guitar case was my original prop. It marked me as a musician. Security would think, he's with the band. But I couldn't always carry a guitar, so I expanded. A headset, like a roadie or stage manager, was my next favorite. Walk in with a headset, one ear on, moving fast. Nobody stops you. The clipboard was another classic. Nobody questions a clipboard. Props told a story of belonging. Posture mattered too. Shoulders back, head up, walk through the middle, expect people to move for you. Project casual authority, no slouching, no shrinking. At the bar, make eye contact. Project, I'm next. The final piece, purpose. Always look like you're going somewhere specific, even if you're not. I'd invent missions, check the soundboard, talk to the tour manager, walk with intent, pause, nod, move on. This constant movement made me part of the event's machinery, not just a guest. Props, posture, and purpose, my holy trinity for blending in. It worked better than any guest list. So, what was it actually like inside these exclusive VIP lounges? My imagination had painted a picture of incredible parties and brilliant conversations. The reality? Disappointing. Most people weren't even watching the band. They had their backs to the stage, talking business. Conversations were about streaming numbers, brand deals, and social media. It was an office party with better lighting. The atmosphere was calculated, not joyful. Everyone was performing, trying to prove their importance. Fun was restrained. No one sang or danced like a fool. They were always on, maintaining their image. The real, raw joy was happening on the main floor. I remember sneaking into a Hollywood Hills party, VIPs everywhere, but everyone was on their phones. They were physically at the most exclusive party, but mentally somewhere else. That's when I realized the VIP lounge wasn't more fun. It was just more status. The most fascinating part was how people treated me differently once I crossed the velvet rope. In the crowd, I was invisible. In the VIP, people made eye contact, started conversations, assumed I was important. I was the same person, but my location changed my perceived value. I started playing a role. I'm an A&R, or I'm a songwriter. Not lies, just creative truth. Suddenly, people handed me business cards, bought me drinks, pitched their bands. I was still broke, but now I was a contact, a connection. It showed me how much our world is built on signals of status. The wristband, the lanyard, the location. These mattered more than who I was. It was funny and a little sad, but a few fake connections led to real opportunities, other parties, new musicians, small gigs. I faked it, and in a weird way, I started to make it. We were all actors in the LA music industry play. Sometimes pretending to belong is the first step to actually belonging, and sometimes that's all it takes. People always ask, Weren't you terrified of getting caught? At first, yes, but it almost never happened. Security guards aren't detectives, they're crowd managers. They look for people who act suspicious, not confident. They scan hundreds of faces, relying on mental shortcuts. My strategy, walk with confidence, look like I belonged, use props. By making their job easier, I became invisible. Authority relies on appearances. Challenging someone is a hassle. It's easier to assume the guy with the headset knows what he's doing. My confidence was a shield. The few times I was stopped, I acted surprised and slightly annoyed. Oh, must have left my pass in the production office. Is Dave back here? Name dropping and confusion usually got me waved through. The biggest security flaw is the human desire to avoid awkward situations. I exploited it, and it worked. After months of crashing VIP lounges, I got bored. The thrill was gone, the mystery vanished. The secret world wasn't special, just quieter, more judgmental. I missed the energy of the main floor, the crowd singing together. In the lounge, people connected by status. In the crowd, by emotion and art. The velvet rope creates artificial desire. We think exclusivity means value. But the real value is in the experience. A concert is about music and connection, not where you stand. I stopped sneaking into VIP lounges. My goal wasn't to be in a quiet room with important people. It was to be on stage, connecting with the crowd. The real VIP section is wherever you feel most alive. For me, that was back in the crowd, just another guy with a guitar finally understanding what truly mattered.